Hi everyone, welcome to Painless Universal, a conversation with me, Anne Welsh. Today I'll be talking to Rebecca. She's an influencer in fashion and she'll be telling me one or two things about what she's doing to shape the fashion industry, especially in light of COVID-19. I'll also be talking to her about her film journey and all the things she's achieved in life. Most importantly, Rebecca has known pain. She'll be sharing her pain journey with us. Meet Rebecca.
Our parents used to buy. And we are not happy. We buy things for comfort, but we are not happy. We buy things and we always say, we don't have nothing to wear.
Welcome to Painless Universal, a conversation with myself again. I have the gorgeous Rebecca here with me. Rebecca has an interesting background. I think we'll be sharing that with you. But before we get started, Rebecca, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
I want you to tell my platform a little bit about who are you?
Well, my name is Rebeca Riofrio. I'm originally from South America. I'm from Ecuador. Wow. And I've been living here in the UK for a little bit more than 25 years.
Wow. So you have a fascinating background, Rebecca. I met you in very interesting places, especially to do with fashion. Can you tell me what connected you to fashion?
What connected me to fashion? I think all of us, even the person that thinks that is not involved in fashion, is involved in fashion. Everybody has to dress up one day, and there is fashion everywhere. But people knows me because of fashion. However, my background for the last 20 years here in the UK, I work in higher education. At the moment, I'm working for the Anglia Ruskin University. I do the marketing there. But I have worked in academia for 20 years here in the UK.
You see, that's an interesting background I never know about, because the only thing I know we see is everyone thinks is what you put out there, but there's so much more than into you. But one of the things I've noticed about yourself is there's a common thing you've observed, from the people you've met over the years. So how would you define your career as to be where you are today? How would you define that process, that step process to get you where you are today?
I think everybody's process starts in the head. It starts in your mind. I came to London with nothing. I had 20p in my pocket. And I grew up in a very difficult situation. I didn't grow up with my family. I grew up actually with my grandparents, and I came to live with my mom here in London. She was living in London when I was already grown up, and it was extremely difficult to start to live in a place that is so far away from where you're from, and to understand a language that I didn't even want it to be here in London. However, I fell in love with the country. So I started to work and study. At the beginning, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a painter. And my parents, they said no. Well, my family said no, you cannot study painting. That is terrible. It's not a profession. So I studied information technology. Then when I was able to finance myself, I started to study art. But all my life, I've been working either in marketing, finance, or business. But in my heart always was the passion for the arts. As a painter, as a curator, as a maker, as a creative mind. Hence, at the moment, I have this society at the Parliament for creative people.
In your journey, I've also researched about you, and you talk a lot about pain. You've talked about the way we view pain, and you've come from that journey because you've moving from a country that you know so well to a country you don't know. What do you emphasize when you talk about pain to people? How do you share that knowledge to other people?
Well, I always think that trauma is a very painful situation. All of us, little, grown-ups, middle, any age, any class, we have trauma somehow in our lives.
Mm.
However, I have understood that a post-traumatic problem, it could give you growth.
Mm.
So in my life, I grew up without a father, and I came to know my father very late in my life, and he was extremely horrible person to me.
Mm.
And that was a very big, I have a very big problem there. I had a very big pain in my heart for many, many years. But because of that pain, I think it made me more compassionate to other people. So I would say that pain is a catalyst of a lot of creativity somehow. It
Mm.
could be used, that power, for good. It's more indulgent to be depressed with pain, but also it's important to understand that pain as it is a power force. But if you take that power for and transform to something positive, it could be so great. So I use that to, because when I met my father, I was about 12, more or less, 12 years old. And he was he was terrible, really. And I understood that he used to tell me, you're not going to be anybody in your life. Every woman in the world cannot be anybody in their life. But those words, instead of put me down, started to pull me up. I wanted to become somebody, not for him, but for myself, to gain validation, because I knew that I was valuable. So every time that I had a problem, instead of indulging on depression, I used to take those words to feel better about myself and to achieve more and more and more. And then when I got over that, it was a style of life. Every time that, instead of spending time having pain, which is sometimes kind of indulging the pain, but to use it for good.
Someone, people listening right now will be thinking to themselves, gosh, my life is filled with pain. And my platform is all about all kinds of pain, chronic pain, physical pain, abuse pain. So if someone is going through pain right now, what advice or step process would you tell them? These are the things you could do to channel your pain to something more positive.
I usually say that you have huge pains in your life. For example, if you have a loss of someone that you love very much, it could be death, or it could be a relationship with someone that you love, you end up a relationship, a sickness in your body, or a loss of a parent. And I think those three pains are really powerful pains. And if you're passing through sickness, I was diagnosed with cancer a long time ago. And at that moment, I started to make wrong decisions because I got blind for a few weeks. I wanted to get married quickly to the boyfriend that I have in case, but I make the wrong decisions. However, I tell everybody that having a pain at the moment, make yourself busy. Make yourself busy. Mourn, use that sadness and make yourself busy. Create something where there is nothing. Create something when people think that there is death. Create something new, because we are this human body that we have is so powerful. We are made of this blood with this flesh, but we have such a wonderful spirit. We can create things. And I think people that they are passing through this part in their life, when they see no future, when they see I have no hope, I need help from somebody else, first of all, nobody will help you. You are the first person that you need to put 100% and make things possible. It's such a wonderful thing to understand that we had nothing and we can create something.
Now that's a powerful message, because a lot of people don't see it that way. They don't understand, but that has also helped me channel the way I see pain. And you've taken your pain to another level by implementing it into fashion. Has that made you more creative? Because I see you, the way you look at fashion, the way you dress. You also part of this parliamentary society for fashion. Can you just tell us a little bit about it, and how is that from pain that you channeled your energy to all this creative side you have?
Oh, the Parliamentary Society started, first of all, with the aim to make a bridge between politics and the creative mind. It's not only for people in fashion, but it's for people that are creative. It's even yourself, and you're an author, you're a creative writer. So people like yourself, it can be involved in the society. Now, the society, I had this in my heart that every time that I talk to a model or a photographer or someone, they always say, I don't really want to know about politics. And then I saw the last elections, there were only 40% of young people were voting. And we are responsible of our environment. And if we don't vote, and if we don't get to know, I didn't like politics as well, but I need to understand, what am I fighting for? What are my surroundings? We change our surroundings. So how can I do that if I don't speak up? And if I speak up and they don't listen to me, I need to make a platform for MPs to talk to me. So I created the society, and I became very good friends with many people, many MPs and people there in the parliament. And the society was founded for that. It's a platform for people with creative minds to understand politics, and not only that, to understand the politicians, to understand us, and to understand what we need and how can we make a change.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, that's really good. So anyone who's looking to join this organization, what are the criteria, and what would it take for them to? What changes are you guys looking to get out of it?
Well, at the moment, we've been operating for 1 year, and we have done a lot of things in sustainability, also domestic violence as well. We have worked a lot on human trafficking, modern human trafficking, and we are working on changing 360 contracts for models, people that they work in the industry, that they have agents, that they take too much money on them. So we have already succeeded taking people to safe homes as well, that especially during coronavirus. We have been so busy because we have a few models that suffering from domestic violence in the homes. So we have put a lot of requests with the government directly to address us in every council. And we successfully, I believe, everybody that received a letter from the council will receive also a letter talking about domestic violence and safe houses, and people, they are not alone anymore. So it's something that successfully we have done.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell me, as to be who you are with someone who just left where you were living to come to Great Britain, right? Ecuador, and now you're in Great Britain. How did you have someone guide you? Did you have a mentor to guide you, to someone you looked up to that says, these are the things to do? Because one thing people forget, sometimes mentors are actually people who pull you up. Did you have anyone guiding you, or did you just figure this whole thing out on your own?
Well, when I came to London, I had the fortune to work with someone that was a mentor for me for 4 years. And I was working for her. I was her eyes. She was getting blind. Her name was Martha Gellhorn, and she was an amazing writer. She was the second wife of Ernest Hemingway. And she became like a mother to me. And she taught me so many things about everything, about international politics. I remember clearly one day I was in her house and the telephone was ringing, and she said, "Can you answer for me?" And I was like, "Hello." I was very young. I was 18 years old. And there was a man saying, "Oh, can I speak to Martha?" And I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Nelson." Okay, Nelson what? Is it Nelson Mandela? Oh my God, can you spell your surname, please? Can you imagine? I didn't know anything. And she was like, child, we need to talk about who is this man. And it was amazing. He was calling her to invite her to the wedding. He was getting married again when he came out from prison. So it was so interesting, the things that I learned through this particular woman, not only about politics, international politics, journalism, about traveling, and about how to measure people's hearts and intentions, which is so difficult, but she was so insightful for that because she was an observer of the world.
Wow. Well, Rebecca, there's a key question I have to ask you because everyone, in my mind, I'm thinking, Rebecca is a fashion icon. How would you define fashion, in your opinion? And what would you think about the sustainability of fashion, especially in light of coronavirus?
Fashion is unnecessary sometimes. It's funny that I say that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to encourage as much as I can to all the designers that I know to be more eco-friendly. Not only that, but upcycle. Mm-hmm. So that is a little bit one of my campaigns at the moment, upcycling. I was having a wonderful conversation with one of my best friends, Malan Breton. He came to have dinner to my house last weekend. And we were talking about, because his collections, you've been in his shows, are amazing. And the fabrics that he used, and he is upcycling. So he's using a lot of materials that it could be discarded in the past for fashionistas, and at the moment he's using so in order to save the planet. So I'm really happy that he is reusing a lot of Nike old fabrics, so he's purchasing all of that and reusing it for his collection. You saw the reflective collection that he had. So for example, that is one of the examples that he is progressing on that. Not only him, but many other designers. I just mentioned him because you know him personally, and that is one of our aims at the moment. Fashion is at the moment, I think, is overrated. People have to understand that we live in times that a virus can keep us confined into small spaces. So why not looking at the bigger picture and looking after this planet, not only after us, but after the planet, because that will be us in the future.
That's true. If you're to advise brands out there, especially with the competitive world, there's so many designers up and coming. You go on Instagram, so many designs there. How would you tell a brand what to do to stand out so that they can be seen and people also attract customers to buy their products?
First of all, they have to really learn the ABCs in the social world. A lot of brands, they have a lot of creativity, but they don't know how to promote themselves. I go to many houses the fashion houses that I never heard about them, and they have amazing fashion, but they don't have good marketing team. So I think it's important to, as much as you are creative, to have a good marketing team and not overproduce. Sometimes people get so passionate, oh, I did this blouse and it's so great, so I'm gonna do it in 10 million colors. No, I think it's accept your orders and do it based on that, so you don't massively produce and you save the environment as well like that. Also, to be authentic and to be a pioneer. Don't be scared of other people, what they said to you. Go and trust your feelings. Go and be yourself. Don't copy other designers, because what you maybe see today is amazing is no long lasting. Maybe your idea that you don't portray is more long lasting. So trust your guts.
What people might not know about you is that, yes, you do the art, you're into the parliamentary of helping, encouraging more people in the parliament to engage them with art and fashion and all sorts of things. You're also very much into the fashion world, but one thing I've not mentioned here is your film background. Could you please tell us a little bit about the film background and what really brought you on? Why, how did you get into the film industry?
Okay, that is again how to use your pain into growth. So I was passing through a very difficult time in my life, and I couldn't sleep.
No.
I couldn't sleep, and go to bed, and it was difficult to fall asleep, and I was overthinking a breakup that I had all alone, and I was really depressed. So I decided to learn a new skill online by myself. So I learned how to edit. And I started to do small videos, by myself, going to galleries and do small things. And one day I show it to somebody. And this never supposed to be to show nobody, because I'm very critical. I get very upset when someone criticizes my work. So I'm like, I'm not gonna show anybody. But someone saw it and told me, would you like to come to Paris with me and film an exhibition that I'm doing? And I'm like, are you serious? And then I started to do videos. It was maybe 9 years ago, I became so busy with it that I had to find a film crew. And I find a wonderful people that become part of my team. And we started to do documentaries and started to do more films and video content for a lot of companies. So one day I had a friend of mine saying that he had a budget for a film, that if I can direct it. And I read the script and I didn't like the script. So I said, can I change the script? And he said, yeah, sure. So I wrote the script, directed the script, and I sent my film to various festivals, and they gave me an accreditation for a couple of festivals. And for the last 7 years, I've been working in the Cannes Film Festival due to that.
Wow. In all your career, you've done all the different things. Is there, because we talk about pain here, is there any pain you've had to endure in being who you are today? In channeling, if anyone looks at, watch this then, and the pain you've channeled to endure to get to where you are today, and how did you overcome that pain and blockage and to keep moving forward and keep being Rebecca?
I'm always being positive. Even in the bad moments, I always stay positive, and I take care a lot of my brain, a lot. I think it's so important, as much as we take care of our stomach, eating wonderful food, doing a great makeup, or good clothes, is nurturing your brain. Read good things. Be curious about new skills. Read as much as you can. And there is not gonna be a point to be depressed. Every time a little thought of depression comes to you, reminding you how bad you are sick, or someone left you, or you didn't have that, you didn't have enough money, or what if I was skinnier? Why was if I have a wonderful husband? No, put those things aside and concentrate in number one, which is you. Nourish your brain. Get a lot of positive things around your home. Clean your place, put a lot of wonderful words, read wonderful things. And if something is bothering you, something or someone is affecting that state of mind, take them away from your life. Simple as that.
That's wonderful. Our final message is always a message of hope. We've gone through coronavirus. So many people are down. There's so much going on in the world today that people don't even know what the next will be. Some people have started to define that. Some people don't even know where to start. How would you define next, and what would your final message of hope be to people who are so in a confused stage? People in the fashion world, the young models out there, the people, entrepreneurs, people moving from country, the people whose dad has left them in their states. What would your message of hope be to this as a final message?
And I think all of us, we have learned that nothing is for granted anymore.
Mm.
And this time of peace and quiet that we have at home, it's time to rethink. It's a time to stop and look back and see what have we done wrong, what have we done great. And as I said before, if you are struggling, there is help everywhere. Check the government for help. If the government is not listening, go to the local council. There are people giving grants as well, people that are struggling with money. There is always someone out there, but we need to look for. And I think people now suffering with the coronavirus, the time of reflection and being thankful for what we got and what we have at the moment is so crucial. And if you are missing people, as long as the coronavirus finish, go and look for the people that you are missing. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. Visit your family. Visit the people that you are missing today. Because I guarantee you, many times we moan about things, but as soon as the quarantine is finished, we're never even gonna visit those people. So at this moment, make a commitment to yourself and see what is there, what really matters is important.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining me on this platform. I really appreciate your time.
No, it's a pleasure, and you're amazing.
Thank you.